What is up, foodies, and welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to the Nintendo Museum. I tried to get reservations a few months ago, and I actually didn't get them. But the day before hitting up the Nintendo Museum, I was able to grab them. So keep that in mind if you want to hit up Nintendo Museum, even though you got denied. First off, just keep checking and refreshing, and you might get them. I am very excited. I know there's a lot that I cannot film in there. I am also filming this not on my DJI, but my Sony camera, so it's going to be a little bit shakier, and I apologize, but let's get right into this episode.
I wish I was able to enjoy the outside area a little bit more, but it was pouring rain the entire time. But the setup was amazing. You are also greeted by these toads, and they make noise when you shake their head. This entire place, of course, was decked out in all of Nintendo. The bottom level has all of the interactive experiences, and these cost 1 to 4 coins, and you automatically get 10 coins loaded on your card, and no, you cannot get any more. Here's the big controller game. They have the Super Nintendo, the 64, and I believe just the Wii, and you could choose which one you want to play. And the Nintendo 64 was probably one of the longest one, and that was the one I chose. This was fun. You definitely need 2 people to play this game. One person is handling the joystick or the controller, and the other one is handling the actual buttons. This was hilarious and fun to watch. Everyone was cheering each other on or making fun of each other. I really thought this was cool, and this, I believe, was 2 coins. They had a handful of games, again, to choose from, kind of just various eras within Nintendo world, which I thought was pretty cool. Here's the Ultra Machine SP. This is pre-Mario, so this is very early Nintendo. This was 2 coins. I thought it was Shohei Ohtani, but clearly by my swing, you tell that I'm not. I believe there was about 8 or 9 different rooms here. And this particular one is if you hit the shelves, they fall over. I think you could also open that curtain up. And each room was very unique to kind of Nintendo life. I did also enjoy the Pikmin one, where it's like if you hit the Pikmin, they kind of do a little turn. And if you hit the TV turns on. But yeah, this just was really cool. I think also if you hit the printer, paper came out. But I highly recommend doing this one. This one's pretty fun, and I think you get like a minute or 2 to actually play this entire game. It was getting extremely busy, and honestly, I would highly recommend going to the museum really quick and then just going downstairs and playing these games, or at least check out to see how the lines are, because you could go back and forth as much as you want. They will not kick you out or anything. But yeah, the lines were just getting way too busy. I wanted to play the Zapper and Scope game, but yeah, I couldn't do it. So I ended up playing this. And these were all the Nintendo classics. So they had the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the 64. And you could play over 80 games altogether. You get 7 minutes to play, which I think is very generous of them because that's a pretty long time to play some video games. And you could always go back and forth between the games. Now, because I stuck with the Super Nintendo, I had to stay on that one. I don't think the actual time goes over. You have to switch the entire console. But I could play all the games that came out for the Super Nintendo, which I thought was really cool. And again, the lines were just getting longer and longer. This one was pretty fun. This was the love tester. So you need 2 people, you join hands, and you kind of work together, and it measures your love, which very unique. And again, this was another weird Nintendo thing that I didn't even know they created. And of course, I had to play Game and Watch as well. This was really cool. I just felt like I was inside of the Nintendo video game. I really do love playing Game and Watch. It's a fun game. And this was actually kind of hard because, I don't know, you have to move a little bit, you have to pay attention. The screen is actually pretty big. So, yeah. And altogether, there's 8 different games that you can choose from. The lines do go fairly quick. But again, the big controller and the Zapper and Scope was probably the most popular one, and that was the hardest one to get in. We just happened to be lucky and get to the big controllers when there was really no line. But again, I would highly recommend playing these games and then checking out the museum because it definitely was getting busier and busier the later it got. And also keep in mind that, again, you only get 10 coins, so you have to use them wisely. You have to be very strategic about what games to play. Some of them are one, like this Game and Watch, and then like the Nintendo Classics, and then for baseball or Ultra Machine that is two, and for the big controller that is another two. So it's very easy to lose all these coins. This was the original Nintendo, the playing card game. I don't know how to play this. I actually didn't even try, but it looked pretty cool. And they also have a few more artifacts down below as well, but obviously up those stairs is where the entire museum is at. There was also this cool little map layout of the entire location, which I thought was really cool. But now let's get into the Nintendo Museum shop. I wish I knew this sooner, but you can actually go to the Nintendo Museum shop right away. You do not have to wait. Even if you get there slightly early, you could go in there and buy stuff and then walk around the museum and downstairs. I wish I knew this because some of the stuff that I wanted was actually sold out, which was very disappointing. I would also say that all of this Nintendo merch was kind of underwhelming. To be honest, they just kind of slapped on like Game Boy, Nintendo 64, GameCube on like the shirts, the mugs, and everything else. And I felt like that was something that I could probably get at like Hot Topic or like Box Lunch back here in the States. I did pick up this Nintendo Museum shirt though. That was probably the only thing that I really was stoked about that I actually could purchase. To be honest, I would say the Nintendo store in Kyoto had better stuff. But if you do want some Nintendo Museum branding, then obviously this is the only place that you can get it at. They also had some really fun like knickknacks and keychains to buy, and I did snag a couple of these keychains because I wanted the 64 controller and the Game Boy. And yeah, you'll see which ones I got in a little bit. But the main thing that I wanted was the big 64 pillow or even the Wii pillow, but they sold out so quick. And now it makes sense on why everyone had those in a bag because they obviously just bought it early. So hit that up first if you want some of the limited merch. Down this area is actually some of the exhibits that you can actually do as well. Some of them are free and you just have to reserve them. Others you have to pay, maybe a few dollars as well. But yeah, if you want to do that, just make sure you reserve it. Again, I wish it wasn't so rainy. I wanted to explore outside, but I was getting hungry. So we hit up Hatena Burger. I believe that's how you pronounce it. You could actually make your own burger, or you could just get one of the burgers that, obviously they create. They said that there's over 270,000 different possible combinations on how to make a burger. That's impressive. I was honestly just overwhelmed with the amount that of items that you could actually put on a burger. So I just got one of their pre-made burgers essentially. But first, let's get into the keychain that I bought and wanted. I just couldn't wait. I had to break out this keychain. I got the Game Boy that I absolutely wanted. I thought that was so cool. And this thing is amazing in person. It has so much detail. It's actually pretty heavy. I don't know what I'm going to put this on, but I just absolutely love it. Yeah, that was a good purchase. The next one was actually a Nintendo or the NES controller, which I actually gave to my friend. This also had really good detail as well. This was cool, but it's just not the one that I wanted. I wanted the 64. There's a lot of Nintendo Easter eggs in here, and this Zelda stained glass was just beautiful in person. I am going to butcher this, but this is the sukiyaki burger. I also got some potato balls and an iced coffee. The burger had sliced beef over an egg with also thick fried tofu and Kyoto green onions and sauce. This thing was a phenomenal. It was messy. I loved it. Everything just flowed together very well. Yeah, with the thin beef was really good. And that tofu, oh, it was phenomenal. These potatoes were amazing. They were cooked perfectly, and they really just tasted like potatoes, which was great. Uh, Very unique, but I loved it. The iced coffee was horrible. Do not recommend that at all. This was a chocolate cream puff. I had to get dessert. Come on, you know me. And this basically had just chocolate filling as well. This was a little bit on the dry side. I don't know if I would get it again, but overall, it's a pretty good meal as well. But like, look how beautiful this place is. And I love the way they designed this manhole. Yeah, this was amazing. 10 out of 10.
I hope you enjoyed the little snippet of Nintendo Museum. It was great. I actually do want to go back, hang out there a little bit more. I want to get that Nintendo 64 pillow. But until next time, follow me on IG at RockPaperFood. Keep eating.